What's going on, beautiful, lovely people out there? It's another episode of Intermission. I am one of the hosts, Mark. What in the
just
hell
yawned,
did you
dog.
just?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, that kind of threw me off. I am Marcus Griffin, one of the hosts. Got Erlene and Howard joining the triple threat is here.
What's up, guys?
It's been so long.
Yeah, it has
Months,
been.
man.
Yeah, it's been a while since we all been together. The three amigos, the three musketeers.
I had to make sure I came today because I started getting people asking me like, "Yo, are you still on the show?"
Hell no, he's too famous for us now.
Neither one of
man, just
y'all,
busy.
man.
Yeah,
Just-
work
busy.
man.
But yeah,
Busy
follow us
season.
on Intermission Pod on Facebook, as well as we have a group that I changed my old Fish and Grits group to the Intermission. Come take a break with us, and we have live discussion going on in there about any and everything, as well as following us on all social media platforms and listen to this podcast here so you can hear our lovely voice if you don't want to see our faces. But yeah, how y'all people been doing this week?
Good man, just busy.
I have
as
gotten
always, you know.
so much sleep. It's so good.
What out,
I've
man?
been
What is sleep,
sleeping.
man?
I've
I
been
don't know what
sleeping,
sleep
yeah.
is,
When you see I'm
man.
yawning, I just chugged my second Red Bull of the day on my way in here,
I've
and it's
been
only what
sleeping.
11.
Man, I was struggling to get up this morning, and it was cold. I was like, oh Jesus, I just want to lay 5 more minutes. But yeah, how was y'all week?
Good man.
I had a good week.
Anything
Productive.
new? Anything new you want to share with the people out there about your lives?
My son likes gargoyles. So
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Gargo! Shout out to that
Yeah.
Disney Plus. I know everybody got it. If you got Verizon Unlimited, they have not paid me, but guess what? You get a free subscription to Disney Plus for a whole entire year, which is amazing because I got it. So yeah, go
Yeah.
get it and check that out and make sure you get that Disney Plus. But speaking of Disney Plus, let's talk about it. Have y'all downloaded it? You've been
Hell yeah.
surfing, looking around, seeing what's interesting on there.
Yeah. So what I noticed most is that the way they organize this shit's awesome. I didn't realize I was gonna get National Geographics either. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
But
I didn't even watch nothing on there.
I don't know if you guys have gotten
Oh.
deep into it, but it's definitely Disney definitely messed with some of the content on there. So,
What do you mean?
So like X-Men animated series and stuff like that, they've rearranged some of the episodes. You can see where they like for some of the old Star Wars movies where they've changed some of the scenes and stuff like that.
Is it for the better or is it worse?
With Star Wars, it's pretty cool because now you can get the content in 4K, so that's cool.
Oh, you talking about the old movies?
The old
Oh,
movies, yeah.
nice.
Yeah, they finished that off, but I haven't gotten to the spot in X-Men yet where these episodes are supposed to be rearranged. It's like season 3.
I love the fact that I just sit down and watch all this Disney content, and on top of it, it's like I'm scrolling around, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that movie was a Disney movie. Oh, I thought that I forgot. Like I rolled through and I saw Even Stevens on there, and I love Even Stevens.
Hell yeah.
So I've been kind of posted up trying to watch that. Xavier's been watching Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes, and I think he's watching X-Men Evolution. So he's been enjoying some of that old content. Honestly, I've been falling asleep on everything on there because I've just been super tired.
Yeah.
That but you know it's really good if you go see that what is it called? The what you call it? The Mandalorian.
Yo, that shit's badass.
Have you watched it?
Yeah. I've
What
watched
happened?
both episodes.
Nothing.
Oh,
What? Erlene's over here
Arlene over
cracking up.
just cracking up. I'm like, I want to know what happened. But yeah, the Mandalorian. I haven't watched it yet. I personally, I've just been too busy to watch it. I was going to catch it this morning, and then I was like, extra hour sleep sounds better. So I stayed in the bed.
I definitely recommend it because I had started getting some kind of like fatigue from all of the Star Wars content that was being put out there.
Yeah,
push it
it's
too
a
much.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, but this is definitely like a callback to old nostalgia with the original Star Wars. So I mean like the first three movies, not like episode 1, 2, and 3 and all that. So it definitely has a more old school Star Wars feel. So I definitely recommend it.
I just like it that they just with Star Wars they're trying to slow it down now because it was like you said, it was too of a fast pace. And Star Wars is more of a slow burn. Like it needs to burn. I mean, like burn over
You have to
time.
think
Like
about
you
it,
need to have
ponder
like
it.
another 6-year gap and like, oh yeah, good, another Star Wars movie. Well, Marvel they can kind of just keep pushing with different type of characters. When Star Wars is kind of a linear story, and it's like, I don't want to see it.
But I
hear
like the
about that every year.
slowdown we've had this year with movies when it comes to that type of thing. This year has nicely slowed down to where we can enjoy other stuff
Exactly.
and appreciate other movie making because for the past 2 years before we had so much action, all this type of stuff, then something came out that had content and substance. Well, it's too slow and people just lost the kind of the appreciation for sitting down and enjoying a movie. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
I think that's
So-
a really good point because, like, as soon as you mentioned that, the first thing I thought was like, man, it feels good to not have Marvel thrown in
Oh
my
my
face
God,
right now. Because
yeah.
now I'm able to sit down and watch shows that are like doing more deep dives into like character development,
Like Watchmen and stuff like that?
Exactly. That was exactly what I was thinking of, like Watchmen and his Dark Materials and stuff like that. So
that are hitting real
it's definitely been a
issues, and it's not
relief.
only in the theater. It's you're actually considered home and enjoy some of this stuff. It's really, really nice.
And which is impressive that when you're talking about the slowdown effect, we can appreciate movies like The Joker. Who would have thought
Oh, that movie was
in a
great.
time that movie, it was such a indie type of film that it would generate that much money off of that low of a
$1 billion.
budget.
Was it just me? But were you also highly offended at the backlash of
Oh, I did.
trying to make it? Oh, we're just you had some people saying it's just a white dude having a mental breakdown. And it's like stop
Everything doesn't have to
like,
be about
I get
race.
you, I understand.
I see what you're saying.
But that's not. Like they were clear from jump. This is not the Joker
that we're
that
accustomed to.
Like they tried. They told you this. Like why? So why are you mad about it?
I love it when you get to see aside from the villain's standpoint of why they are what they do or what they do.
And some were offended, saying how, oh, this man's just a mental patient. He's not like Joker, who's actual. I said, but
Well, Joker, the character, is a mental patient.
So there was
think
like
about it.
this thing that I saw going around where it was saying that the original Joker turned into Joker because of like chemical induced accidents
going into acne
whereas
thing.
society now is turning him into Joker. And I was like, that's a good point though, because I mean societal pressures like that can cause people to
the
snap,
break.
and you see it all the time. So I mean, people who are trying to write this off as whatever they want to say, it's like it's stupid. It's just a different take on
and the thing about it is we
character.
accepted. People didn't want to accept back then that your environment will really shape you.
It will shape you. as
And
a
what you're
person.
going through can break you down, especially if you want to talk about what men go through in society and how the brunt of, even though, with men having to carry the weight of, supplying, enforcing, taking care of, no matter what ethnic background, men were the ones that take care of things, and how for men, suicide rate was higher for men after war, after certain things, when Wall Street fell apart, all those things over years of
You got
time.
people jumping out of the building.
Out of buildings.
The pressures of trying to make it.
The pressures for men to not discuss what you're going through. It doesn't matter, work, take care of this and that. So society can break a man down, right? And I'm saying, because believe me, I'm a woman.
Oh, they can break a woman down.
So,
too, yeah.
but not wanting to accept back then that society is doing this to you.
Yeah.
So you have to make it chemically induced, because no one's going to want to believe that, oh, my environment is causing this shit. But now that we're moving towards society of men being aware of what we as people go through, and how your upbringing, your background, your work, your friends, not
in
talking
addition to all the other
in
stuff.
addition to all, and let's
psyche.
medicate you, because that's the beginning of medicating people with their problems in the early 80s, because it was 82, 83 was the beginning of Joker. So let's medicate you but not give you any help. Here's some pills, prescription.
There you go.
Just
Are
throw
you
away.
working?
And
Are
that,
you
that
doing?
was like the best thing that they did, was show you that it was like a gradual slip as him as an adult. Being shunned, having like kids in the area beating him, like fighting him all the time, and like having like, plus being in a city where everybody is going through a bunch of shit, and then having, as you find out that you also have a history of mental illness, with your mom telling you all these stories with this, and then you find out she was committed, and it's just like you can
one break
see
after
how-
another
yeah,
break after another
it just
break.
piles up,
Yeah,
it just
it
And
piles
what
up,
I
and
loved
finally
about
it's just
it-
too much for him.
Yeah, and what I loved about it was, because we can talk about Joker all the time. It's like a whole social
a great
type
movie.
of. What I loved about it was, he was not crazy in the sense of a danger. He knew his mom was a little off. He just took care. Okay, mom. It could have been easily something different. They could have made it really hyped up. Okay, mom, I'll dance. We'll do this. I'll take care of you. Put himself aside all the time, believing what she said. Why? And then looking into things, and you see the gradual break of him. And what I found interesting was his therapists were black women. Black women in the 80s, even now, not appreciated, not listened to. So no matter what they had to say, they're sitting there also like, what's going on? Working for the government who's not funding anything. He's trying to tell you, you're not even asking me. Do you even know me? So he's like seeking out some type of help. I'm working somewhere. You're not. You think I'm lying to you? So it's like He went through. You saw him literally reach out and say, "I'm going through something."
And nobody
he
really
actually said, "I didn't even think I really exist, and now I know I do."
Yeah.
Like that right there, for a person to be in their 40s to not even think that what they're experiencing is a real thing,
life. Mm-hmm.
that should tell you that this person's asking for help, and like you can see the power in that and
But
feel that.
you can tell about how they get passed through the system, because being a teacher, you can see that with kids nowadays about how a lot of them are seeking for help, but they don't get the adequate help so they can be at the level. And then they struggle even more when they're not like everybody else. And that's when they lash out and just do the most and stuff like that.
But think about it. Also, people want society wants you as an educator, as a parent, to put your thoughts, your feelings aside to take care of someone else. So if the educator is not mentally healthy because their environment's fucked up, administration's fucked up,
exactly,
you're not getting the resources you need to help the student. How can you effectively help that student who's crying out for something? And then the parents, some of them, not all, ain't shit. They want to blame you.
Is.
So it's like, how? So now you're like, you know what? Here, I'm going to just do the basic shit, and I can't even give you me to help you because I can't do it.
We're asked to
But
do
anyway,
hula hoop, throw a football, shoot a three, and kick a soccer ball.
But yeah, that was a good movie. But that that was a good one.
Man, I can't wait for a sequel, if they make a sequel.
I hope they don't.
He said that he's interested in doing it. I would actually like to see him tell the story of, like, I guess, Batman, because one of the things that he introduced was that what's his name?
The ramifications of
no, Bruce. What's his name? Not Bruce Wayne.
Alfred?
No, his dad's name. What's his name?
Oh, Thomas Wayne?
Yeah, Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne was an asshole.
Yeah.
He was an asshole. So I would really
Most
want to
millionaires are,
see.
or
And that
billionaires
was even that scene where Thomas Wayne was killed. Like, there was a whole different twist on it being a random ass act of violence versus, yo, you're a dick.
Yeah.
And this is why you're
This
getting
is why you got
because we've
killed.
always heard of Thomas Wayne and his wife through the eyes of Batman. And as being sweet and loving and wanting to help for the city.
Yeah.
When you look at it, it's all about frame of reference.
Yeah.
We're in the gutter. The city is dirty. Gotham been dirty from the time we've been watching anything with Gotham, right?
Yeah.
Your house is way off on the hill, away from everybody.
Gated with security and even
Like
further
more-
away.
yeah.
Of course you're gonna be touched, and it's so interesting because with the whole casting with the Batman, with how they're going, however indifferent you feel about Batman, but just the supporting pieces around him
They've
with
got some
the
crazy
Jeffrey
cast
Wrights
members
and
now.
the guy that's playing the Riddler, I can't think of his name, Paul Dano, and then with Zoe Kravitz, just to see how that is structuring up, and then with what's the name supposed to be playing
Gollum, he's playing.
Oh yeah, Andy Serkis, and then they have
Mm.
Colin Farrell coming in that's gonna might be playing the Penguin. Just that interesting type of cast that if you could talk to Joaquin Phoenix and be like, hey, do you mind stepping outside of your comfort zone?
Building
And
something crazy.
but the thing is, he wanted to be a singularity type of film, but it's just like having that conversation, like, we're trying to build something nice. You can be a part of this, and you can just have a one-off type of film.
I would worry about the extent that he went to film Joker and what he did to his mental state and his body. I would hope he would come a little bit healthier with it,
Oh, man.
because.
Shit, no, not with him. Not
Because he could
Joaquin
be-
Phoenix.
because-
But what
I
I'm
mean-
saying is, though, because at the the way the movie began, he was already in the institution. So the movie began at the end, so he was already in the institution. So it would come to the fact of now that he's coming to his own, and he's like he said on the show, why do I have to be mad about it? Like, why should I keep feeling sorry?
yeah.
So it's almost like now
He's now embraced the psychopath.
and
Yes, now he's at the psychopath
So
you
still
can
be
really
a
have
psychopath. I don't think I really don't think he's a psychopath. Honestly, I think it's more of like, fuck it.
A broken man.
Y'all don't give a shit about me.
So
You know what
why
I mean?
not?
So I think a little bit.
That's what
If he does it, I would love him not to lose 53 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
would be awesome because now he can really just take control of the character, because you don't have to go through the ways of showing the relatable side. Now you can just be the person that we're known to accustomed to
and we
seeing.
have that background.
Yes,
of,
we
you
already
know,
got it already.
Like
We
he's
got
like,
the-
he's
we
still
got-
a tragic villain.
but
Yeah,
when you
like,
think about it,
know
I mean,
why.
let's make it a personal level. How many of us have really thought about, why do I have to feel sorry about that? Why is it that I'm forcing? Like right now in our age of social media and this mass mob of canceling, and if you don't cancel, something's wrong with you,
Yeah,
and
something wrong with you.
bullying in a sense.
Yeah.
So why do I have to care about that?
PC
Because you care about,
bullying.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like I've been shit on. You don't give a fuck about me.
So then there's something wrong with you.
You know, it's really self defense what he went through. Like him killing those guys on the
I agree.
subway
It
was
was
self defense.
Yeah.
He pulled them away from her, the young lady, self-defense, and I'm getting shit on, fuck you, I don't have to care about anything.
I just think that could be if they really dive into the Batman, it could be an interesting character study of a man who's thinking that he's saving the city from his philosophy of what justice is, and him combating against villains on showing you like, no, we've been in the slum, we're showing you our type of justice, we're going to take over this.
And if you think about it, he only had issue with those who were abusers.
Yeah.
So he wasn't like really on the villain side. It was a more
and it would make it interesting why he would not be trying to kill Batman.
The funny thing is, this whole thing is that it makes me think that they have a lot to give credit to for Marvel, because Thanos is, in my opinion, what started this whole conversation about him. Like, hey, is he actually a villain in this?
I always said that, what's his name? Well, they always say Loki, but I always said the Winter Soldier was the one that was the catalyst, because it was like, yo, he was brainwashed and he did not feel what he was going through while he was up there tearing this, but he was indifferent of the pressures of being, this perfect soldier. Was like, no, I don't want to be this. And I was like, okay, but I can understand what you're saying.
I think with Winter Soldier, though, they kept putting him back under when he started having those moral conflicts. It was like he was coming out of it. When he was in it, he was in it. But when he's coming out of it, that's when he, at the end, was torn. Like, who am I? What's going on? Because you've been asleep literally for how long? Like, was it
20 years, 50 years?
50, a whole bunch of years.
Almost, so.
You highlight something, though, about that moral argument. One of the things that Joker really did for me is show that morality isn't something that's objective. And we always want to say, oh, morality is this, morality is that, when in fact, it's a perspective thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like, because in Joker's mind, even if you take that scene where he killed the guy who gave him the gun, and the midget's like, I'm not going to hurt you. And he thought it was ridiculous that this guy would even think that he would hurt him, because there was no reason.
There was no reason for
me
to hurt you.
He was always nice to me. So it was like, I don't have any ill feelings towards you. But you look at the perspective of that midget, he's like, holy shit, you just killed this innocent guy. And we know from being the audience, like, no, that guy wasn't.
No, he wasn't innocent.
He was part of the problem. He set this guy up from failure.
Exactly. It's all about perspective, like you said.
And also, he did it because he was fucking with him.
Yeah.
And also with the love interest that really wasn't a love interest. He could have.
Oh, that was so good.
But
so
what I love, that's why I said I don't think he's a sociopath or crazy, because when he got into her apartment, really this time, he's realizing this really wasn't happening. So he saw his mind breaking.
Which is, because a lot of people I've been seeing are questioning, how did this story actually play out at all, or was this part of his, like, did he ever leave the mental institution? Because he goes back to the mental institution at the end of it.
Well, at the very beginning of the movie, he's sitting there in the institution. If you think about it, talking to another black therapist, saying crazy, minute questions that mean nothing, and asking him, "Do you know why you're here?"
Yeah.
And so that's when you have the telling of the story. And then at the end, he's running around because someone's gotten hurt, because there's blood somewhere.
Yeah.
But he realized that never happened with him. So he was manifesting this caring person to be by his side. That plays into your own internal loneliness and needing comfort, because he comforted his mom all his life.
Yeah, never had his own.
And never had his own, even though, because she couldn't really give it to him, because she gave her son away to these men to abuse when he was younger, that he totally blocked out, which really happens. And when that guy read the file, just a glimpse of the file, and
his whole shit
tied to the heating thing. Let the boyfriend abuse the son and use. They never tell you what, but you already know. Let them use him and abuse him. So he had blocked all that out. So now it's coming back to you.
That's interesting. I gotta watch it again.
It's a great breakdown.
There's this thing you guys should watch on YouTube that came out a few years ago. I mean, like, shit, might have been like 10 years ago. But it's like a character dive into the Joker. And this made me think of it a little bit more, but it was saying that the Joker's not insane; he's super sane. Like, he's more aware of what's going on in reality than what we are. It's like, this makes me think of it even more, because even though this movie has, issues with mental health issues and all this, and we can see this Joker has those things. I personally think that as he was getting broken down over and over again, and
It gains more clarity.
He gains more clarity, and that's like a Buddhist philosophy: is that life is suffering, and through suffering you reach
build
enlightenment and understanding. So it's almost like he went through this crucible of pain and agony to become this character that all of a sudden understands how the pieces move and how things.
And a person who knows that can create chaos.
But I think
and that's a good thing.
Or it seems
absolutely.
like chaos to us because we don't really know what's going on. But one thing we know about the Joker is that he's a master tactician. He always has a plan. So it's like, is he really just, like he says,
crazy,
in
or
the
is
Dark
he
Knight,
just alluding
he's just
to
a dog chasing after cars, or is it just that's what we see?
But now when you think about what we've seen prior to Joker and the representation of him prior to, that's through someone else's eyes. So now you're thinking, okay, what really happened? Because who's the real villain? Because of course Bruce at the end, it wasn't Joker. It wasn't Joker who killed your dad, but it was the idea of Joker. It was the
idea of what your dad put in place.
It was the idolization.
Clowns. He called the entire mass of people who he was here to save as clowns. And then it makes you think, all right, Batman, all you are is an elitist trying to just impose
what you
your
think
justice.
But no, think about it like this though. So the dad is clown. He's insulting to everyone who's beneath him because people are beneath him, and now someone has killed your dad, right? And they're doing it off of an idol that they've created because of the clown, the people walking around with masks, all those things. So is he the one now who is crazy, going after a villain that really was not the villain?
See, you know what's funny? That's why.
But if you watch Young Justice, if you ever watch Young Justice, they tackle that with Batman. It's like, are you sure, Batman, that you are the one that thinks you always think everything is right and you're calculated? Are you the one that's really broke? And they really tackle that story if you ever watch Young Justice.
And also, could he also be fighting the demon of realizing who his dad really was
and
how insulting he was and trying to right the wrongs of what his dad didn't do, because he went against in some way the whole rich kid thing to do what he did, even though he used his money to build whatever, but to go and fight in the streets for those who couldn't fight for themselves. But yet you still have in your mind this one villain, this one person that you think caused all this when really your dad caused it.
A duality of his character, whereas like the Joker is the Joker all the time.
Absolutely.
And then Batman is two different people.
Yes.
It's elitist, but
Can't wait.
How much of it can you actually separate?
Can't wait for Matt
How
Reeves.
many people can separate like their character and then
because he'll never understand the Joker on that level.
Never, of course.
But
not.
he won't want to because if you think about it, he doesn't. But I think honestly, if he based it on the, and we probably need to move on definitely.
Yeah.
Because it could be a whole conversation. I feel in some way that the Joker's mom did have something inappropriate with Thomas Wayne, and because she's always been unstable. What do we do with unstable people?
We don't believe him.
We don't believe him. How could he ever? Really?
Oh, really?
Because you and I, we all know.
We've seen some dogs.
We've seen some stuff, and no one's that crazy.
Yeah, we've seen some dogs
and
move.
And he was so adamant.
Like, oh, she's just crazy.
I mean, he punched him in the face.
Come on, dog. No.
In the restroom.
Why being so? Not saying, but they did say she found him, but she wasn't stable. So did she really find him, or did she have him?
Off on the
did she have him and then no one knew because she wasn't in the hospital? So I found him, because she was not well. But we know how society and the world can break you down if you think you're in love and someone's just shunning you and using you.
And have someone that powerful who has that much control over the city
that can really mess you up.
So,
but Joker, go watch it. It made the bill.
Oh my God!
Ask more money.
One last point, but the fact that he even knew that much about her medical file.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It means sounds a little
so
fishy.
Did he put her in the institution?
Yeah.
You're fishy, Miss Dwayne's. You're fishy. But besides that, Netflix got a partnership with Nickelodeon. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have good content out there for the children. We don't really have to do a deep dive in that. Netflix is really trying to.
About it. We'll see.
I mean, I just think Netflix is really making a push of just.
If they survive their lawsuit, that Monique's suing them now.
That's wild, by the way.
That is really wild. She's still really rolling with that, but we'll see.
How that's gonna go.
But I just think once again, I think it's awesome out there that story is taking precedence over a lot of things nowadays. That a lot of the people are pushing for stories, and those are starting to make a comeback when it is to TV and the film. We starting to see it more often. So hopefully we see it this at the end of the year with Star Wars and a few other movies that's coming out.
I'm actually really excited for this new Star Wars movie.
I'm sick of saying that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like that. I feel like I keep telling myself like, yeah, I'm excited for this, and I watch it. I'm like,
J.J. Abrams, man.
But I didn't
excited.
like Force Awakens. I thought Force Awakens was
Force Awakens was definitely better than this fucking New Hope Part 2 was definitely better than
The
this last
prequels?
one. No,
the last one that came out, the last one was terrible. Oh,
Yeah.
floating, what's the name? Floating Leia. I was like, oh, okay. Get out of this movie.
Superman
But yeah,
that was wild.
But I think they had the
okay.
floater because she already passed away by that time.
Oh, yeah.
right?
No, when
No.
she came back.
She
when
came
was
back into
in
the ship.
space, and then she came back.
remember she came back into the ship
Like that, they
when it
could've killed all
exploded
of
Yeah.
and she like
She's
kind
gonna
of
be in
force
this
floated.
one.
I was like, oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it was a shaky movie, but it is what it is. But
Yeah.
besides that, what have you seen? You saw Dr.
Oh,
Sleep.
I saw Doctor Sleep and I loved it.
Oh my god.
1 out of 10. What would you give it?
I will give it an 8.
Oh, that's pretty high.
7.5. 7.5.
Still
How
good
was
enough.
Ewan McGregor? I want to. That's my.
Awesome.
Okay.
I have never had an issue with his acting.
But when you say that, because I want to say, only reason why I say that because he's gonna play Black Mass in the Harley Quinn movie, and he's coming back with the Obi-Wan Kenobi. I want to see if he still had the chops.
I
That
love
could
the
be
because
dope.
they had the previews, of course, with everything for him. That one and Harley Quinn and
Whatever the
Star
long-
Wars. And what I like about Ewan is he can do sweet good, and he has floated really nicely. And I can't remember when it happened into some evil shit. Like, what? Wait a minute. Are you playing a villain?
Yeah.
Are you playing a bad guy? Who can pinpoint when it happened? Because some actors get so typecasted.
I love you, Philip Morris. Have you ever seen that movie with
Yeah.
him and Jimmy Carrey? I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, oh, he can play extra or
But-
Big Fish.
I love the Big Fish.
Big Fish
but
was good.
Big Fish was great, but I like the fact that he is actually a character actor. I don't think people really realize that. But he did Broken very well because, Danny, a little boy, went through a lot in The Shining. So if you don't know, Doctor Sleep is a sequel to Stephen King's book and movie The Shining, and it follows his son Danny. I want to say 30 years after The Shining, and his mom passed away when he was 20 in the storyline. And as you know, The Shining is his psychic ability, whatever it may be, that he's able to hear thoughts and semi-psychic in a way kind of thing. But he suppressed it because when he went to the hotel, the Overlook, his beacon was so strong that those spirits was trying to feed off of his energy. And he was taught how to close that off, and he became an alcoholic like his dad. And he was just pretty much roaming United States, trying to find himself because he blocked all that off. So his mom passed away when he was 20. That was kind of the breaking point for him. And if you read the book, it gives you more detail into his journey into that. And they cut away in the movie a lot of that meat, but I didn't miss it, if that makes any sense.
It didn't take away from the story.
So
It
Doctor
didn't.
Sleep is an actual sequel to The Shining. The book.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I
It
haven't
is.
watched the I've never seen The Shining.
neither.
I've never seen it.
I went with a friend of
Blame it on
mine,
age.
and she had never seen The Shining, but she actually thoroughly enjoyed, because she can't handle horror either, but she enjoyed it 'cause it's not gruesome. It's just it's a good storyline.
So is The Shining, the original Shining, is that one gruesome? I heard the
No.
movie was kind of boring. Like, it was slow, not boring, but slow.
It's slow because I think the watchers of today don't understand. That's back in the day when
Character.
movies are actually
Every
3
30
hours
seconds
long.
You need action.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
back in the day when Shining is the concept of an author, Jack Nicholson, who is having a writing block, and they take this job to sit through the winter in Colorado, this hotel called the Overlook, an old hotel, and the only thing left on the ground, only person is like a groundskeeper, and I think a chef. That's it. And they're going to live in the hotel while he writes. He's already alcoholic beforehand, so he's been battling that. So he's already kind of mean and grumpy. The wife is really sweet, and the son. They have a father, a wife, and a son, and they go there, and he's trying to write, and the hotel's like almost a cancerous, and it kind of infects the father, sends him batshit crazy. So the only person that I can remember from The Shining who sees all these ghosts happens to be the son. And the cook who's there realizes that this son has a psychic ability or whatever. And they become friends. They talk within their minds, and he tells him how to close that off and that kind of thing. And but those same ghosts in the hotel follow him throughout his life, and he's been trying to block them off. So
Okay, that sounds more interesting. Now I
didn't know what the hell the book was about.
So that's what it was. And so I mean, it's really good. But everything with Stephen King is there's always going to be some phenomenal kid with some kind of ability. I mean, if you think about Stephen King, it's some kid with a great ability who can save the world or is something like that. But this is probably written when he was on his own shit also. But I really enjoyed it. But the Doctor Sleep talks about another form of people who are trying to eat on those who have that type of light, and that's how they survive, become immortal in a way. And so he befriends a young girl when he's trying to find sobriety, and he ends up in a town just traveling, and he meets another person who kind of sees in him, I know you, there's better in you. He becomes sober for 8 years. But he's been communicating with this young girl who has the shining, and she's real young when she realizes it, and she's fully aware of her abilities. And they communicate, and they realize there's these people out there who are trying to seek out folks like them because they have this great energy. When their fear is heightened, they can use their steam or their light to live longer. And that's kind of where the movie takes place, and it ends back up at the Overlook Hotel. So.
Okay.
Gotcha. So now I'm interested. So
I'm actually going.
And it's a slower pace. It is a slower pace. It really gives you good building up. And if you've never read the books, I think you'll enjoy. But I would say watch The Shining to understand little things that's going on.
Okay.
But I really, really enjoyed it. I think he did a really good job, and I have not been happy with a lot of stuff with Stephen King. But
you been watching anything, Howard?
Shit, yeah. I've been watching a lot of shows. But,
Me too.
Watchmen. I
Watched
finally
that too.
looked into the Badlands.
Oh, love it.
Fucking
It's
incredible.
my favorite show ever.
Incredible.
I'm
show.
glad you finally watched
Oh
it. Me
my
and
God,
Jarvis
dog.
only been telling you for the longest about it.
I texted Jarvis. I was like, yo, it was great. Holy shit, dude.
It's once you buy into the concept of the show, you're like, okay, this show's
my son watches it, and anytime I put it on, because he's like really big into like kung fu and shit now.
That's good.
Yay.
He jumps on the bed because he watches this show called Hello Ninja on Netflix. And he jumps on the bed, and starts like
I like
jumping
Hello
around
Ninja.
and doing. Yeah, that shit's hilarious. Like
It's
the belly
funny.
flops they do. He does that shit all the time.
Me and Xavier watch it.
Yeah,
That's
but
good.
I've been watching Into the Badlands, so that's dope. Really
On Netflix.
Really, it's actually about to get me back into anime, or get into anime, I should say.
Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah,
Pretty dope.
and then I gotta actually finish. I'm like halfway through that. I've been watching Watchmen, which, godly,
isn't it great?
It's great.
Oh
it
my
reminds me
gosh.
I've only
like
seen his first episode, don't
toned
tell me
down, Legion, in the sense that it's not. It's crazy, but it's not as far out there where it just skips around. But there's multiple episodes I've been sitting there looking at this, and I'm like,
Concept.
the fuck
Who
just
thought
happened?
this up?
What the fuck?
And
did I
isn't it
just watch?
funny though that there's
Like
a
the
big
random squid shower, and then they don't have it anymore.
But
and
what's
it comes
so
back
funny
up.
is
I
you
don't know.
have
I haven't-
people because
It's in the first episode.
The Watchmen
I gotta
is
rewatch it then.
going to
okay.
hit on social issues in the smartest
Yeah.
way I've
It's
seen in a very
insane.
long time.
Yeah, and then you're sitting like there's
Yeah.
people who didn't even know about this event that happened in Tulsa. And I'm like, how do you?
Oh,
not
that whole
know
shootout, man. That was a dope
Where
scene.
The complete destruction of the
Destruction,
city.
mhm.
That's crazy. But so it's having people ask these questions and stuff. But it's really well done. There's a lot of political commentary that's in there, but it's not like beating you over the head with it, and they're telling a great story at the same
Yeah.
time.
And you know what's funny? Now that you said that, because I like they try to shade away that event that happened from history, like it did not happen. And I was teaching the kids about history because I teach history. So we were talking about history, and we were talking about. And one of the kids was like, you know what? Why are there no black people in any of this history? And I said, you know what? And I said when I was in the 5th grade, I was never intelligent enough to ask that question. And I said, that's amazing that you asked that question. Everybody was like, you know what? We felt the same thing, but we just never asked it. I said, go out there and learn your history because school will remove it for you.
They actively try to remove
I said that is
stuff.
amazing that y'all answer that that have that question. I said I
of
do
mine,
love
yeah.
that with as nerve-wracking it is to deal with young children. I love that their thought process, they challenge the thinking of the status quo. And I said I will always give them credit for that.
A friend of mine, she's an educator as well. And of course, you have to teach by what they tell
What's
you to
out
teach
there.
there.
Yeah.
But when she makes sure she gets through it, so the last 15 minutes, all right, bam. Have you heard about X, Y, and Z? She's gonna give you nuggets. There's gonna be those extra credit nuggets she's trying to give, and I really appreciate it. That's the
That
one
kind of
thing.
stuff is good.
It's
I try to
great
talk about life with my kids.
y'all's generation and younger that are willing to ask those challenging questions because we were taught you don't ask questions. Just I mean, my parents taught me
along with the
to
flow.
ask questions, but it's almost like, well, this is what they're teaching you. What's going on? But
Yeah. Well, it's good that you have that conversation with kids. I'm sorry
Absolutely.
to get on tangent, but because kids need to have that. They need the reality check. They need to know the consequences of their
Well, they got to
actions.
realize
because
there's other shit out there.
Because we used to be
Absolutely.
scared. I told them that we used to be scared based off of how our parents did, that we wouldn't act outside ourselves. But I say, if you're going to act outside of yourself, know the consequences that what you're going to deal with.
This might have been why when you first met me, you thought I was an asshole because my mom was always like, just ask a question. You don't know?
yeah,
People are
ask.
like, what's wrong with you? Kid?
Yeah, because I'm like, I say, because
It was strange for kids to
curious.
ask questions. Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. We don't. I mean, I've been watching I mean, you got anything else you was watching? I've been watching the same thing as you. pretty
His
much all
Dark
that.
Material.
Oh yeah, that's really
That's
good.
dope.
I mean, was it 2 episodes out?
Yeah, I haven't watched the second one yet, but oh shit, no, Righteous Gemstones too.
Yeah.
HBO's been killing it. I've just been going through a bunch of their.
Did you
their
finish
series.
Ballers?
Yeah, I'm so upset
Sad.
it's gone. Sad.
It's sad.
Is it last
gone.
season?
Yeah, man,
Yes,
it's gone.
over.
And it just shocked us because it was like, oh, last episode.
Yeah.
Like, what? Wait, what?
I wonder why.
Because
Rock's
Rock's
too
too big.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hobbs and Shaw was great.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved it. I watched it on Fire.
She
I
didn't
really
like
loved
it.
it.
She didn't like it. I didn't like it. I
It
thought
was like
corny.
perfectly cheesy.
Oh, I hated it. It was
exactly
too
what
corny.
I
for.
guess you know.
It's great.
I guess I was at the point of.
You were sick of it. You were sick of it.
I was at my limit of cheesiness.
I was with
Gotcha.
you.
and I love Ryan Reynolds. I do.
Why is he in here?
But
I couldn't figure that part out.
and I
either.
like Kevin Hart. I do.
Why are you in
but
here?
I'm like, what?
These are fair
What?
points, and also now that y'all mentioned that, the part that I didn't like the most was when they went to Hawaii. Just tell it, like now I just feel like they're just jamming it down my throat. Like it's just,
Yes.
it's like what they were doing, like with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, all those. When it's like, hey, here's a culture you guys don't know about. Let's just throw it in your face continually.
But this is the thing, though. I think they on that's kind of going to the tail end of what's going on environmentally with them right now in Hawaii and those places trying to kill off and pretty much take away their natural resources and how things go. But there's a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but
Then you have a whole character that you
Totally-
hyped up that
totally
didn't even say but
ridiculous.
2 words.
2 words.
I'd rather you talk about his brother,
uncle, yeah,
the guy who played his brother in the
Oh, the
movie.
brother,
To me,
that's what, the older
he's been
brother, yeah.
acting for years, and I love him. He's in Doctor Sleep as well. Why not talk about his character, that relationship? Don't
oh,
hype up.
they just kept panning to that young dude.
Yeah, I'm
and I was like,
That's the wrestler dude.
I asked, I was like, who the
Roman
fuck
Reigns.
is this guy?
Roman Reigns, the wrestler dude.
Well, his story is
Yeah.
great. He's a cancer survivor. He's gotten back up. He was he Rock was kind of his mentor. But the brother who plays your brother is pretty badass
Should've gave some
too.
character.
And he's been
Together.
acting for decades. Can we give him some props? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was wild.
Can we
So-
talk,
and
can we
also
make him a
holding a
backstory
helicopter.
on why you like where the mama at for your kid? Can we get some backstory on that too?
Oh, don't we
That-
you
yeah.
reminded me of the ridiculousness of that scene of them throwing the things on top of the trucks.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, we did it.
We got it.
Yeah, we did it. No,
It's like,
but
what the? What is
Idris
this, that
Elba was
monkey
amazing
shit?
though.
Oh,
That shit was great.
that guy can do no wrong.
Oh my
Ew.
god, he's such a great actor.
It's
Idris
just like-
Elba.
Oh, he's so
Man, I watched
Golly.
Takers
God.
is on Netflix, and I was watching that movie for like
I
30
love
minutes.
Takers, right?
I'm sorry. I
With
do not
Takers,
I don't like
boys.
anybody in that movie but Idris, and I'm like, man,
So we do.
God
we
damn.
it
take.
shows it
Amazing
shows
actor.
how
Good so
how better of an actor he is compared to everybody else
And
there.
he's still
He's
so
like-
humble,
yeah.
man. He's still
heads and
so.
tails above
He is,
so many
man.
people too. Like,
And he doesn't even realize it. There's.
I wish he was Blade.
Let me tell you something. And what I love about British actors and actresses, even though they do movies, they do a hell of a lot of TV. In the
Yeah.
U.S., we've
Oh, that
just
Luther?
now
Ooh.
we've just caught up
Luther's
to it. Not
amazing.
even that, he has a show on Netflix called is like where he's a DJ. That
I
second
didn't see that
and
one,
then another
really.
one that he's been doing where it takes place where he's living in England, and his family's from Senegal, and his brother comes to live with them, like kind of like a '70s feel. So they always do.
yeah.
British actors have
try to develop their
always
craft.
They do.
they keep doing theater,
Them
they keep
and
doing
Australians.
TV. Absolutely. So us in the U.S.
We're
just
lazy.
caught on
Get that
to
money.
we can do both, but they're like
Yeah.
they'll do a movie and still come back and do some TV
Like The Rock,
shows.
like, ironically, The Rock, whose like acting was like very limited, and he's becoming a better actor.
And
I
he
attribute
is
it to that because he's out there
Doing more things,
yeah,
exercising.
TV,
And
movie,
let's-
and all that shit.
I know you hate it. Okay.
Okay, guys, let's do it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I know you
Fucking
hate
hear
it.
What
Come
is
on,
it?
You already know what she's about to say. Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all,
Go ahead.
bump the hostility down. We ain't
Go
seen each
ahead.
other in a long
Okay.
time.
Go
What
ahead.
happened?
Jason Momoa.
There she goes.
Oh, what happened to him? What did he do?
Nothing. She's
happened?
just saying that he's
they're
doing
showing
the same
iTunes?
thing. No, because he's practicing.
Because
and
he's
doing all
I
this
think he's
shit,
taking the
and,
I think I really feel he's doing a lot of different things. He has he had the Frontier, and here's another
Hey, that Frontier show is pretty
and
dope.
one thing is he's still humble about it. He's like he supports a lot of things, and I think he's doing work. And it's like Rock did. I'm going to do a lot of different stuff, like Idris Elba. Let me do these little
Diversify
things.
myself.
Yeah, and he has.
So
he's
people like me can't say he's one-liner.
fucking
Yeah,
right.
fuck you.
Shit.
Well,
Aquaman sucks.
it really well that movie isn't that.
I like it.
But it really hit me in the chest when my mom calls me one day. She's like, "Yeah, I saw this guy on TV, and holy shit!"
Told
I
you.
was like, "God damn
I
it,
told you,
Mom."
man. I told you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh, by the way, I want to
Jada
say
and your mom. Bam.
I wanted to say one more thing.
Everybody at Walmart.
Light thing. Uncharted
Every
movie.
fucking day.
Uncharted cast Mark Wahlberg as Sully in the Uncharted movie. And the only reason why I think this is interesting is because I did not know Trevor Knight, the dude that directed the Transformers reboot, the Bumblebee movie, is directing that movie. And I thought that Bumblebee was one of those movies like, shit, if people didn't have the stink of like Transformers,
Probably
that movie
done
would have
way
made a
better.
billion. It was an incredible movie, and it was a good character drama. So Andrew Garfield, Mark Wahlberg. I'm kind of.
What's Uncharted about?
It's like an
a
Indiana
video game?
Jones. It's like
Okay.
the Indiana. Yeah, it's the video game. It's like Indiana Jones, and it's pretty. It's a great. It's cinematic. The game is cinematic, and it's like
Okay.
the movie would be pretty dope. But he's like a treasure hunter and stuff like that, and he knows how to shoot and all this good stuff. And he's hanging out with a grandpa that shoots and stuff, and all. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Are y'all excited about this new James Bond movie?
Yes. No. No. Because I've kind of been. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of been off of James Bond since. Honestly, Casino Royale, because
You didn't like Skyfall?
I'm gonna be honest with you, because you go back and I watch Skyfall for what James Bond was trying to do with Casino Royale. It just switched like that with Skyfall, and he became like the same character that he was back then. I was like, no, this is not what I want him to do.
Though, because of the shit
And
that
then
happened
all of a sudden-
in what's that movie in between?
Quantum of Solace, and I
that
loved
movie.
it.
I hated that one.
people
Quantum
hated
Solace
it
really
because-
made it to where he had to go back to that one.
But you know what? The only reason why is because the writer's strike was going on, and that's I said for that writer's strike going on, for them to pull that what they did and kind of salvage that, I thought it was a decent movie for a follow up to a
So do me a
incredible
favor then,
movie.
And this is a legitimate question because I have not been able to figure it out myself. What is the overall plot of Quantum of Solace? Like I
have no idea.
And that's
Let
my
me not
point.
lie to you. I
They were
have no
trying to.
idea.
They were
I've
trying
seen the
to.
movie 3
They were trying to
times.
find the water thing from. They were trying to take
Yeah.
the water from Bolivia and stuff. I was like, okay, whatever.
I just think sometimes
3
they're,
times
they're
and still
scared
can't
to
get it.
not do something. Like
Mhm.
even though you're in the midst of it, just take the loss because you lost more making that.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Skyfall.
Spectre was hot garbage.
Yeah, that was terrible. And from coming
yeah.
off of that and knowing this is a direct sequel, I'm just not too much impressed. I am impressed by the cast.
Yeah.
If anything, Sam Mendes is coming back. The dude that did Skyfall. So I mean, I'm
It's almost like
interested in
they're
that.
trying to do
Skyfall's
something
fucking great,
because
though.
the way movies are coming out with action and other franchises happening, they're almost like let's do something before we do.
Like,
People
I'm getting
forget
away
about
Well,
from
they
it.
have to, especially because Mission Impossible, that last one crushed it. That
Oh,
movie
that
was
movie-
so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
good. And it filled a void. Like one of the things that I've been seeing with a lot of American led movies, they're starting to try and reach that British audience. So like for instance, like with like these shoot 'em up style movies, like we had Kingsman, where it's like trying to get that type feel
The
going
outside
on.
money, that
What-
foreign money.
What was that? There's another one that came out. Baby Driver
I
had that
loved it.
same kind of feel where.
But a
it's
lot
like,
of times
you
our
know,
movies do better overseas than here. Sometimes there's
Exactly.
sometimes
Yeah.
that we've killed it in other markets.
But there's also like a built-in market, I think, in America for movies like Smoking Aces and stuff like that our own directors
Smoking
haven't like tapped into. So I
Because
think
that's a
that,
new
yeah.
thing for us to do the whole separate story in one story type of
Yeah.
action thing. That's new for they've been
So
doing it.
fucking great.
I love that shit.
Yeah, like
Smoking
one of the best
Aces.
movies I've ever seen. Snatched, like that was incredible.
But yeah, I'm not.
I'm
You
not
talking about
Casino.
Casino Royale, man? I think that was like the epitome. I was like, man, this is Bond. Right? This is. I feel like it was just a new take,
Casino
and they
Royale
just.
was fucking
And I
dope.
feel
It was
like James
awesome.
Bond went back to his old, and that's why kind of the audience doesn't want to see it anymore because it went right back to what cliche and hit
Yeah.
him James
Yeah.
Bond and
Yeah.
everything else, like you said.
He was
the
kind of
Mission
rapey
Impossible
in,
change and
Spectre.
Rapey.
Rapey, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of rapey.
yeah, I didn't really like it
Yeah.
at all. But yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe I'm gonna watch it. But
Who's your
because the
favorite
black
James
chick is
Bond?
I like Daniel Craig.
Yeah, me too.
I still like Daniel
Really?
Craig. I mean,
He's
it's
good. He's
as bad as bad as some of his movies have been, man. His take
What
on
movies
James
has
Bond.
he been really bad in though?
Well, the Quantum of Solace and then the Spectre. He
I
was
think
good
the
in
movie
Skyfall.
He was
itself,
good.
but him as an
He was
actor
good
is
in
a
it.
He's
good.
such a good actor.
He's such
to
a
me,
good
and I feel like
actor.
an underrated actor.
Like
And
Layer Cake, he was
Loved
great.
it.
in
To me, they have a better. They have more of an
Girl with the Dragon
obligation. The
Tattoo.
British actors have a different
Golly.
obligation towards movies and acting. I
They
think than
take it
we do.
serious.
They'll keep doing it, even though it may be some piece of shit. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck it, I ain't doing that shit ever again. I think they'll do it. But we have some hot trailers though today,
yeah,
don't we?
what we got? Oh, what do we have? Oh, Sonic. Oh no, let's
No.
start off with the Robert Downey Jr. one. Doctor
Dr. Dolittle. Yeah, we
Dr.
missed. We
Dolittle.
lifted that off the last time.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
I'm interested in Robert Downey.
So we have some
Robert
hot
Downey Jr.
trailers for you today.
I haven't actually watched the trailer. I just saw the poster for it, and I really hope they're gonna do it more like the original Doctor Dolittle versus Eddie Murphy.
I think they are.
Did y'all watch the Eddie Murphy movie?
Yeah,
Yes.
we talked about it.
Dolomite.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god, it was so good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eddie Murphy, man. And then
So
that
good.
I've been watching Bad Boys and
I can't wait for
They have a new
I
trailer
hope
out,
the
too.
third.
Have you seen the third
We
one?
talked about that one.
No, no.
The third one, yeah.
We talked about that?
Yeah.
Listen,
That's
I
how
haven't seen any of the
time
trailers
is.
for it.
So let's watch Doctor Dolittle trailer with Robert Downey
I
Jr.
got a mean middle part going on.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
just
Yeah.
realized that shit.
Looking all.
You should be on one of those
Looking all
head and
juicy
shoulder
and thing.
You should be on a
There
head
it is.
You should be
There
on a
it
head and
is.
shoulder commercial with Odell and Troy Polamalu. This Howard pops up. Let me have a bottle.
Funny enough, Troy Polamalu has a podcast, and I'm friends with the guy.
Everybody
who
has a
produces it.
Nice.
Yes, I might even.
It's podcast heavy
It's-
out
it
there
is
right now.
It's
But
tough
since
out
you
in the
have
streets.
Apple, look, and they have the
It's Sherlock.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's fucking Sherlock.
Sherlock.
That's exactly what it
are they in
is.
talks to do another Sherlock? I
Yes,
think
they are, and they waited way too long because that.
Yeah.
No, they haven't. Never too long. Never too long.
Man, I've been missing. I've been wanting it so bad because that first
This
one
is
was awesome.
let's
Yeah.
discuss how beautiful it looks right now. Just,
yeah, who's
just
directing this?
Oh, isn't there a second Maleficent coming out?
Yeah,
Yeah, it already came
it already
out.
came out. I heard
Oh,
it's good.
When did it come out?
Last week.
month.
No, last.
Oh.
No, last month. In the
Yeah,
last.
last month.
and
I
it-
think my
I
mom
missed
went to
that.
see it.
I need
I'm
to
gonna see
see
it today after we
I like
leave here.
Maleficent.
It's a nice hat.
I just love. Let me tell you something. How much I love RDJ. Okay.
I like the resurgence.
I
of his
love
career.
how damaged he is and how he, like, he's been fucked up, recovering addict. He said I'm always gonna be an addict, but he's such a good actor. He's really puts himself into it. He plays damage very well.
He's so nutty, man.
Oh
And
my
we-
God! It is gonna be like the old
Yep.
one. Yes. Hell yeah! It was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Never seen it.
Oh, you never seen the original?
You never seen the original
Oh,
one?
it's great.
So good.
You ever seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
So good.
I have, but it's been so long.
Then you do that one over. I wouldn't mind
It's a
seeing that
beautiful
over.
looking movie. That was Antonio Banderas.
Yes, it was.
He looks good.
That's another underrated actor. I think people don't really talk about that.
The Mask of Zorro is, man. If you re-release that now, man, that movie's awesome.
That was a great movie. I actually liked that entire series of them. They were all good.
Also directed by the dude that did
I'm so excited for this.
Casino Royale.
Damn, that looks like that's gonna be good.
It's
Looks interesting.
yeah.
Looks
I like
good.
that. It's
Looks
epic
good.
looking.
It's always good to have Robert Downey Jr. because he brings out the useful side, and he also, anytime I see Robert Downey Jr., it always reminds me of Howard, of when we went to go see Iron Man. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
never forget that from my memory banks because I'm like, that is what just catapulted
Yeah.
the Marvel.
So that's
cinema.
going to be, I think, early 2020.
I'm down for it.
Another trailer we have is called The Banker, which I'm excited about, starring Samuel L. Jackson and
Anthony Mackie.
taking place discussing a young black man in the 50s who pretty much buys up real estate in all white neighborhoods
Yeah.
and ends up buying two of the biggest banks in the nation owned by black men.
Shout
I
out
like
to the
this.
black
But
man.
they
There you go.
used a white guy to front it
Mm.
because, of course, you can't walk
You
into
can't
the
walk
bank
up
and
and say, "Hey, I'm
and
about
so it got FBI got involved, all kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about that.
Ooh, shout out to Anthony Mackie.
Those money moves people make back in the day that you had to do.
Yeah.
So I'm
Black
excited
people,
about
man,
that.
I love how black people are always forward thinking in society. They try to make it seem
But
like we
what I
weren't.
from the trailer, you see that you get the kind of resistance of you want to come here and do real estate, you want to come here and do this because you still have that till today. People think you can't do that. I think it's getting less and less now.
It
But
is.
to have an idea that I'm not trying to only be an athlete, I'm not only trying to do these things,
I can
or
do it all.
nurse or educator. I can be entrepreneur. I can step out on faith and do what I have to do, and
Yes,
get
you can.
support.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
can.
and yes, you can. And it's still today that you still hard to get help or support from people who are closest to you, which is funny. You know what I mean?
Extremely.
You get
Extremely
more
hard.
support from strangers who are like, shit, I'm jumping up. What do you mean to do?
Yeah.
That type of thing. So
Uh,
that's coming out. I want to say early next year as well.
Mark, he's trying to like trade the truth, dog.
Yeah. Oh, Joe Budden said it right. Joe Budden said it right. Just start. That's the best thing you can do.
yeah,
Just start.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what's your plan,
Sweet
Mr.
God.
Garrett?
Isn't
How
it?
would you like to buy a bank?
Look, it's
I
a
love
Marvel
the
movie.
fact that I love the fact that he's not only doing Marvel stuff. You know what I
Sorry.
mean? And but you still got
Oh, I'm sorry.
two Marvel people right here in the same
Marvel
room.
is just out here killing it.
Yep, still black.
I got my head full of dreams.
I love that song.
That car is nice.
Came here to try my hand at real estate.
You mad a millionaire units?
Is that Nia Long?
Looking all delicious.
Was that
and shit.
Nia?
Yeah.
See, sometimes I even
She ages
invest some of my
beautiful.
own money to back 'em. I know you're smart and ambitious.
You and I both know that's not enough.
time that someone shine a bright light in order for things to change.
You starting to buy real estate in white-only neighborhoods?
Keep one eye open like
Think about all the good we can do for the community.
Taking it to the man.
That's exactly what we're gonna do.
We probably should say something.
No, I'm like, this got my attention.
Right, like, you know, we have audio people who are like, are they just quiet? Are they just silent?
Me to what?
Oh, that's in.
Yeah. I like him too as an
McCoy,
actor.
We can't set foot in the bank unless we to help. Should have took limo driver when you had the chance.
I don't know anything about banking. I don't know how to buy a bank. We'll teach you everything you need to know.
And you know that plays into, you know, we have people who are really saying we should, you know, while we all
team up with the white person.
Yeah, and I get it.
hate that.
It's not that I hate it, and I get it, but the reality is that's the way we had to do things back in the day to get that foot in the door.
And that's how you do it now.
And you did have those white people who were like, okay, I will risk, because think about the risk they took doing what they were doing as well.
You're under arrest.
A black man tries to bring other brothers up. That's intolerant.
Nicholas Holt.
oh, when you're living on faith.
Did you guys watch
Something's
that
got to give.
Harry Tubman movie?
Something's got to give.
Even a rig game's fun.
Did you like it?
I mean, it had a lot of inaccuracies that based on what we know,
The
but
slave trapper.
well, it was an added character.
Yeah, but there was like no record that her slave masters ever sent a slave tracker after her.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me.
So does it remind you of
Real quick though, let's watch. Let's real quick. This will be
Okay.
early. I want to say early 2020 as well.
I'm interested in
Samuel
seeing
L.
that.
is a good movie.
It looks interesting enough, and I'm always
Since we're tired
for
of slave movies, right?
Yeah.
Thank God.
People say
Finally.
that. So,
Give me
you
one of
know,
those come up black.
so at least
stories.
support something that's showing some other side of it. So
And there's no magical Negro, and there's
so
no savior white
so
guy.
if you're gonna
Right.
support
An
some
actual real
shit,
partnership.
if
There
you're
you
gonna
go.
support some shit, let's support.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah,
I
no.
gotta go see him.
There's a
It looks
movie.
interesting.
I don't know if it ever came out with Don Cheadle, but he was playing this character from Wall Street, and they called him like Black Devil or something. But he was
Are you
like,
talking about the one that's a TV show now? That's
Is
on,
it a
on
TV show?
Showtime? Yeah, it's on Showtime.
Oh, fuck.
Black Monday.
That shit
Or
is
Black
amazing.
Sunday or Black
Is it
Sunday,
good?
Black Monday.
Black
one of
Friday.
those. There you go, Black
I
Friday.
will have to be checking that out.
All about
Killing
Don
it.
Cheadle.
Let me tell you, Don Cheadle always plays like some strong shit.
He does.
Always.
Hotel Rwanda. That was one of my favorites.
That was a hard watch for me.
Oh man. Yeah.
Because that was during the time, I think, when that movie came out, I was learning about Rwanda in high school. I think so.
Okay.
And just learning about what happened in the divide in Rwanda. I was like, it kind of was like, and then something else had happened during that same year that movie came out.
So how you should.
So.
But yeah, that looks
really
interesting. I'm always good for a good character drama. And then Anthony Mackie, I think he's another one of the black actors in Hollywood that people don't like to give his just due, and I think he does a pretty great job. And
I think
can't
it's
wait
just
to see
that
what
he's
he
just
does.
still like coming up. Like he's definitely.
But he's been coming up forever. Like I'm from
Yeah.
She Hates Me. That's back with Spike Lee back in the day.
We've always known
And,
who
Papa
he
Doc.
is, but I think people now
Yeah.
know who he is based off of Marvel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I
But
can't wait
that
for,
he's so much more than
that
that. You know what
I
I
think
mean?
he's about to hit that same stride that
He's hitting it.
No, what's his name? Mahershala Ali hit, where it was
Good.
like all of a sudden he took all these roles and everyone's like, "Who's this guy?" And then all of a sudden he wins an Oscar, and I think he's about to start being able to choose the roles that he wants.
May I say, because I said it last year, I am so happy right now that I'm not seeing Mahershala Ali in a whole bunch of movies right now.
Same.
Oh, you know what?
Same.
He's playing Blade.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'm so.
He's gonna be great in
I
that.
cannot wait. That is going to be
Yeah.
I
incredible.
could have picked somebody else.
What?
Fuck no,
No,
he's
he
exactly who I wanted
He
to
looks
play.
like
I
he
know
looks
y'all
like
did.
a vampire. He looks like one. He looks like.
But I'm just like glad though that this year has not been
the push
weighted down. Mahershala
Well,
Ali,
let's not pass though. Who would you have put in Blade besides him?
the guy who played Black Manta.
I do like him, and he was good. He was good in what you call it. That show that just The Watchmen.
Watchmen, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
Watchmen.
him.
I don't think. Well, see, for me specifically with Blade,
gotta
I don't
put
think
him
he's
five.
ready for that. And I like Mahershala a lot more because he's gonna add some character depth to it that we didn't get.
I
from
fully
Wesley.
agree. I fully
So-
agree. I just, when I said
struggle
that,
of a
I was
black
just kind of
vampire.
like,
He would be a good one. I didn't like him as Black Manta. I think seeing him in Watchmen though, you
Yeah.
can definitely see that he's going to be a great actor. I just think
Watchmen
that he's not there
and
yet.
in Us. He was in
Yeah,
Us.
he was Us. He was the
the
dad.
dad
He
in
was
Us.
in Us.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, he was
Yeah.
really good in Us.
But what I like though, just going back to Joker, you have people who were in Joker that took a small little piece of a role.
Mm-hmm.
That one guy who played in
Atlanta, Paul.
Atlanta, and he was also in Widows.
Mhm.
I like
Paul
him.
Hibbs. And he's going to be in the Marvel movie. What you call it?
The Asian one.
No, the movie Externals or what it's called.
But I like that
Eternals,
we're
he's gonna be in that
taking.
movie. He's
We're
a dog.
taking.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
God damn, I'm so excited. I've missed her.
Yeah.
Go watch
She had
Maleficent.
in- Yeah, I'm going to.
But I
looked the other
like
day,
that we're
she has
taking little
Instagram.
roles though, and
Nope.
just even if it's just a small little thing, you're taking it because it's an impact,
Mhm.
and you have it on your it's on your CV, it's on your thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Quick before we go, have y'all been noticing that a lot of directors have been pushing black people into their movies, and I've been liking it.
Mhm.
Like with the Batman, there are 3 black people in that movie already, and you would never thought. And now they're talking about a black.
I like it, but I
Batgirl.
also
Yeah.
I like it, but I also don't like the pressure of you have to.
Well,
But it doesn't feel
It doesn't feel
forced.
like
It doesn't
forced.
feel for,
It
but at
doesn't feel
some
forced.
point, to me, you have groups that are trying to force the point.
Oh yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, and
what
they,
you-
but
Let's
they seem
force
to fall,
these things.
but they seem to fall
like Jeffrey
flat, though.
Wright as Commissioner. I would never
He
would
should
have
have
thought
been,
that.
but let me
That's
tell
gonna
you,
be
something,
interesting.
he's been a phenomenal actor for decades.
He has,
now.
but you
Yeah.
would have never thought of Commissioner Gordon or like a Zoe Kravitz. It's
Because when you think of Jeffrey Wright, you don't think of this is a black man. You think you've seen him play a Puerto
Rican
but
dude.
you've seen him play roles
on what's that movie? Shaft.
like he was a tech guy in
Oh
in
shit! Yeah, on
yeah, Shaft.
That shit was hilarious.
Him walk across the street, and,
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And then in Hunger Games, the tech
Oh, he sure
guy,
was the
he was
tech
a
guy in
smart,
Hunger
you know,
and
it's
in
like,
Westworld.
Oh, he was. So,
you know, so
and
yeah,
James Bond.
yeah.
Oh, he was the American. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our next trailer on the list is
On the docket.
is a Pixar movie called Soul. Soul
Yeah.
little teaser. I think
Okay,
who's
so
the hell who's the,
Jamie Foxx. They
Jamie
just cast
Foxx.
him. It's about this guy who's like just how people struggle and come up in the world and how they finally get that big break and then he
Yeah.
dies.
Mhm.
So what happens after that? What happens to his story? They only released that trailer. I mean, a teaser over it. They don't really go into it, but it's just about how his life is in the Soul universe, and that's pretty much how it's going to attack from.
I just like that there are different roles being played. Pixar has a movie now with black folks as
Yeah.
the stars. Like that's great.
Exactly.
I mean, even looking at stuff like with Netflix, like Raising
Raising
Beyond, Motown Magic, like shit like that. Like it. It's not, they're not even just black movies. They're movies with that black
Watchmen.
actors are starring in. It's like,
Watchmen with what's her name?
Oh my God, she's fucking killing it.
Regina Hall.
Oh
She
my
is
gosh, she's so
killing
amazing.
it.
Oh,
She is
she's
such a
amazing.
She's been
great-
amazing for
yeah.
decades, and it's
been.
like y'all now realizing how amazing she is. She's been
No,
on
no,
top
I'm
of-
not
no,
saying
we-
not
that.
us. I'm just
okay,
saying though. It's
yeah, I was
like
about to
no,
say,
I'm just
yeah.
saying that she's been amazing.
She's been killing it for a long time.
She was good in 227
Her-
a young kid. She's been a kid actor forever. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, she's been good.
I love her on Poetic Justice.
Did either one of y'all watch that movie, American Son? I think
Yes.
it's called. Is it good?
I didn't see it because I don't like what's her name?
Kerry Washington.
I'm so over
it's
Kerry Washington.
better as a play
Okay.
Okay.
because in a play you have to have play is meant for long dialogue and meant for that one room scene type of thing. I understand bringing it to the big screen to give you more exposure. She's slightly irritating in her facial expressions.
Oh,
It's kind of
'cause
what it
she's
is.
such-
I'm not knocking her. I love you, Carrie, but
Did you watch Scandal?
I did.
Every
I saw,
time I see her, I just think of Scandal. With
and that's
the
just
face.
who she is. That's who she. That's how. That, I mean, that's who she is. But
that
the-
little like thing that she
yeah,
does,
and something she does when she crinkles up her nose. It's a lot going
it
on.
looks like she's about to sneeze.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. But I get it was a beautiful play. I think it should have stayed there, but I think that I would rather them have record the play, and put the play out there for you to see the actual stage play on screen. 'Cause I think you would have felt better at the whole one big scene type of thing.
I gotta check it out. Well, let's get that Soul trailer popping. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
You want to be
Jamie
known
Foxx
for
did
on
it.
Earth.
You know, he probably really played that intro too.
He probably did. Let me sing the song.
We only have a short
Can
time
we
on
discuss
this
how
planet.
much Pixar has improved over the years on how the
You wanna become
animation?
the person that you were born
Oh
to be?
man, we were looking at Bugs
Don't
Life
waste
the
your
other
time
day.
on
This
all
for some reason
Still
just
love
made me
that
think of the PJs.
I love the
I
PJs.
just
Yeah.
Is that with Eddie Murphy?
Doing
Wow,
what
that
bring
was with
out
Eddie
the
Murphy.
real you.
Eddie's been killing for a long time.
The brilliant,
Look at all
passionate
that
you
black culture.
that's ready to contribute something meaningful into this world.
And let's also note that Jamie has a movie coming out in December with Michael B. Jordan called
Oh yeah, he's that lawyer.
Mercy, Just Mercy.
That's gonna be great.
Jamie is the person in jail, and Michael B. Jordan's the attorney. I did a trailer. I think we did a trailer back in October, I want to say.
I love Inside Out.
What the?
Up.
So you sure he dies?
Yeah, he's dead.
Hello?
He's dead.
How the hell did that get?
Dead.
He fell in the pothole
Yeah,
and he
so
died.
what do you
I've
want
been
to
in
be?
a pothole before. Manhole. I didn't go down that far.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Probably for doing this funny cowboy dance.
That's adorable, right?
Great.
I'm for it, man.
I like the fact we're touching on to different things of
Yeah.
and
Of
but
everything.
you know it's gonna come. The whole people,
Christians.
Oh, they're coming.
The who?
The
Christian-
Christians
they're
are coming.
coming.
This is not heaven.
You know that's coming.
That's not
But
what the Bible says.
I like how they're
alright.
asking the question of what do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered? So it's not even about life
Legacy,
or death. It's like
legacy,
what's your
legacy.
legacy?
Yeah.
And doing it in such a nice, friendly, kid kind of way. I'm really excited
I'm gonna
about
see
it.
that movie.
So Jamie's been killing it for a long time.
Oh, gotta love Jamie.
Except for the Spider-Man movie.
Bless it.
Oh
We're not gonna.
God, that movie was.
We should never bring it up ever again.
What was he? Shocker, Voltron. What
He
what
was
he?
Electro.
But you know,
was
he's
terrible.
always wanted to be in a Spider-Man movie. Like I think that's like his
Yeah.
thing.
That-
You
that
know.
he should have passed on
He
that one.
should have.
Yeah.
He should
Let
have
it
done
marinate
something
a
else.
little bit longer.
And also Sonic, they went back into the lab.
Hey, play this trailer because I think how
Sonic went back into the lab.
I'm gonna go see.
I'm
Sonic.
excited
Sounds
about
great.
Jim Carrey though. Out of everything, it's Jim Carrey is who I want to see.
And you know what they did? Less Jim Carrey in this trailer and more Sonic. And
They're like, yo, look,
And
we
you
did
know
better.
they the Supersonic songs on being here. They actually got permission to do. You know, are y'all old enough to remember Supersonic?
I've had the original Sonic, so yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
oh, someone said.
That's actually my generation.
Think
Well, that
about-
is your generation,
Yeah.
but the
Somebody
song is
said-
So you
Somebody said Super Smash Brother. We got Sonic. we
Yeah, I
got
saw that.
Pikachu. What's next? I'm like,
know, yo, you know they have a Super Smash Brothers ripoff game called Brawlhalla.
that sounds like Is it on the?
It's on Nintendo Switch.
I need to get that. Then.
They got the WWE characters in there though, so that's pretty cool.
So let's roll that Sonic the Hedgehog brand new updated trailer.
Blue ball of super energy in an extremely
Oh yeah, he looks way better now.
Oh my God, yes.
That other thing was creepy. It was like
It was very
like a dog.
creepy.
it was like a ripoff character that you get from like the dollar store or something.
Ooh,
Where am I? What year is it?
The
Is it
Speed
on
Hedgehog.
just make him look like a cartoon. Just keep it like it is. You know.
20
Yeah.
minutes ago, an energy surge knocked out power across the entire Pacific Northwest.
Who's there?
Why are you hiding out in my garage?
The entire military is after me. Good morning, my rural chum. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to tell me where it is. Wait, don't hurt him. Awesome. Road trip? Woo-hoo!
This can't be happening to me.
Oh my God, stop the car right now. The world's largest rubber band ball? We gotta see it.
No, this is not some fun family road trip.
You're right. It was lame. Gift shop was cool, though.
Maybe like Rocky
You can lay low here
Bullwinkle.
for a while.
I like Rocky and Bullwinkle. As terrible it is was.
Show you how it's
So
done.
shitty.
So should we get out of here?
Yeah, time to go.
I mean,
What happens when you take
They've-
too much Adderall?
It's cute. You got car insurance, right?
You know they're in talks to do a reunion of In Living Color.
Yeah, I saw that.
like a show.
Maybe like a movie.
Oh, that would be good. I mean, they're all popular though.
No idea.
You know? Might as well bring all the old people back
I think that's why that Tommy Davis has been doing kind of like a media run
He's my
lately.
friend.
in. Has? Does he still look good?
He's a recovering addict.
Of what?
Tommy Davis, a recovering drug addict.
Wow. He was so good, man. Man, I thought he would never just fall off.
Tommy Davis, because it was recovering.
Man, because he was in. He was hilarious. You should watch.
He has an interesting life story, though. You should look him up.
I need to
You're
look
supposed
at
to
it.
be Tom's best friend that he won't shut up about.
Well, I don't see the appeal.
That is very gross.
I'm so happy they fixed him.
Yeah, Howard's not gonna see that one.
I'm gonna be forced to see it.
I'm gonna go see it. I think it looks good for the kids. The kids who like Sonic. Sonic got a little showdown.
I think we're exhausted on the fact that when they came out with the bullshit look of him, we're like, oh fuck it, I'm not even gonna entertain this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that's not.
What's Jim Carrey? So I'll take it. I'll take Jim Carrey.
But then, you trying to fuck up his career? Leave Jim Carrey. Like how you gonna come up with some stupid shit? But the last trailer we have is Netflix holiday movie. I'm sorry, you want to talk about Sonic?
No, I was gonna say I'm sure Jim Carrey saw the script and was like, fuck it.
Give me that
He's at that point in his life, like
he thinks it's fun.
He's a genius. People don't realize how amazing
that thing that he
is.
had it on Netflix when he was Andy Kaufman or Andy whatever his name is.
Man on the Moon.
It was so good.
People just underestimate him. He's really
That's
good.
what I was going to say about Joaquin Phoenix, by the way.
Okay.
Joaquin Phoenix he did this thing for an entire year where people thought he was losing his mind. He came on, I think Jimmy Kimmel and was talking about he was going to be a rapper and grew his beard out, and it was end up for like some low budget movie that he was
Casey
in.
Affleck was doing it, yeah. So they did this whole 1 year run of just him doing character shit, yeah.
Fucking shenanigans.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's an amazing
He was
actor.
perfect for Joker.
I love Her.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, Her is
so on Netflix. Watch it.
So good.
I keep I'm always about to start it and then I don't.
You should start it and then get it's such a sweet film. And then just seeing how he falls in love with her, you're like, oh, okay, I can see how he starts doing that.
And
it reminds
Scarlett Johansson just talking to him all day. I'm like,
it reminds me also of the sweetness of Lars and the Real Girl. Have y'all seen that? You should watch it.
It doesn't sound like something I'd watch.
It's a dude who buys a sex doll.
Whoa.
Not selling it for me. Go on. Keep on. Come on. Let's hear it.
What did he do with the sex doll?
So he's an awkward guy. I want to say maybe like in Wisconsin or whatever. He's a real awkward dude. And he buys a sex doll and that's his girlfriend. And he has her in a wheelchair, says that she has
a wheelchair.
And so he talks to her like she's a real person. So everyone in town is like, what's wrong with him? After a while they go along with it. She has her dressed up in like little clothing. Nothing. He never sleeps with her. Never. It's his companion. He's scared to talk to women and stuff like that.
Does she come to life?
No, but eventually he moves away from that. You know what I mean? But
he gets the confidence to actually talk to real women.
Yeah, but I would watch it. It's called Lars and the Real Girl.
Yeah, man.
And it has the guy from The Notebook. What's his name?
Not gonna watch it.
You'll like it.
I hope you're not talking about Jesus. Notebook, the main dude.
Yeah, him.
Not Ryan Reynolds. What's his
Gosling?
name? Yeah, Ryan Gosling. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh dang.
And he dresses her up and she has a little.
He's from Wisconsin. Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying it's a really sweet movie, and everyone's like, "What the hell?" He takes her to family outings and stuff like that, and then eventually they like really
poke a hole in her.
They take. She's like the $5,000.
They're not made of. They're not like blow.
Oh, he's one of the the good ones.
Like a latex.
Oh, he got
nice
the good ones.
You poke it, it's just gonna be a hole in it.
I thought he had got one of those little blow up ones.
One of many holes.
Yeah.
But anyway,
a new hole.
Anyway, the last trailer we're going to talk about before we go to. I can't talk about anything with you two. Y'all are ridiculous.
Why is Ryan Gosling not in a Marvel movie?
Because he's too sexy for him. He says. He said that in one interview.
He's real low key.
Was
though.
not expecting that. No, Marcus's answer.
I can't see him.
But you ever hear what he said? He said that, but he said no because he's moving away from He's trying to move away from Hollywood and start taking care of his kids with what's her name?
Eva
Mendes.
Mendes.
That's why she doesn't act anymore.
Didn't know he was with Eva Mendes.
Yeah,
they've been married for like at least 10 years.
They got 2 kids.
Man.
They both slowly. They did a movie together where they really kind of kindled their romance and stuff.
Right
like
after
that.
his relationship with, I forgot who it was, and he happened to get with her, and that was.
They're real low key.
Mm-hmm. He's good. He's good.
But I don't think he wanted to be considered like always a sex symbol. That's the thing, because it was going on that road. I think so. It's like he wants to do more meaningful.
He'll be a good
stuff.
Nova if he ever just wants to do something. Be a good Nova.
Oh shit! Black Adam has a fucking
a little picture.
Well, and a release date.
Yeah, 2020. What? No, 2021. Did he say The Rock?
I think.
You never believe The Rock.
I just feel 2020 is gonna be like it was in 2018.
Oh, it's gonna be
a whole bunch of shit.
It's gonna be awesome.
We had a little break. It's The Quiet Before the Storm.
What is the trailer we watching?
We gonna
what was it?
It's called Holiday Rush. It's on Netflix with Romany Malco.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
It is so funny. Netflix has been pushing these Christmas movies.
But they do October. They do a scary movie. They do Thanksgiving stuff. So
okay, they are pushing this Christmas stuff.
So it's Holiday Rush. I found it
watched
the other
his-
day. He just put it up last night on his social media. So
It's a guy from 40 Year Virgin.
he knows who Romany Mako is, right?
You know the one that's the one with the hello, this is Betty Cocker, the black guy.
Oh shit! He has a fucking skit on YouTube where he plays this guy from prison and he gives you
Yeah, Tawana
advice.
Jones.
Yeah, that's just hilarious.
Yeah.
She put a trailer in there.
I did put the trailer in there. Thank you very much.
No, she didn't.
Yes, I did.
It's not even a trailer there.
Let's see it.
Good morning, my people. It's your morning shot of adrenaline rush.
I'd like to see him in more movies. He's funny.
He was funny as the gay
He's
guy
in
on
Million
Blades of
Little
Glory.
Things, Million Little Things. And he's doing a lot of work.
Ooh, that's a nice house.
Oh, Joe, I've been trying to be both parents.
You're fortunate children to have all of this. If I was Santa, I'd fly right over this house.
It's too early for teachable moments.
We appreciate everything you've done at WMLE,
Oh,
but we are heading in a different direction.
So that's it. We're off there.
It's hard
Dion
on
Cole.
everybody. I mean, not me, because I'm cashing
What's that noise?
big time.
Well, I'm gonna tell the kids Christmas is around the corner.
We've been knocked down before. Just gotta have a little faith.
Ever since their mom died, I've been trying to be a strong father
can't
for my
act.
kids.
That's
I'm
why
glad
she
that
died. She
video-
died off.
She's dead.
She's
Bless
dead in this
her heart.
movie. Dead in power and dead
this
in you.
nonsense. What if I told you that Crush BQL is for sale? You got your break at that station. We should buy it.
With what? My megawatt smile? All right, I want you to think big picture. This is our way out of this mess. Are you ready? We're moving back into our old house. What?
There are 5 of us. That is a whole mess of people in that tiny house.
Let's face it, we've gotten a little...
Bougie.
Will you finish eating your pizza, please? I am always going to provide for you kids. What if y'all is rush on the new WBQL?
So if you don't know about Romany Mako, Romany Mako is from Trinidad, raised in New York, but graduated high school in Baytown. He had a group called the College Boys. So he started off in a rap music career, moved his way up into acting. He's done a lot of stuff. He did the MC Hammer movie years
I
ago.
love you right now.
That's his big break, and then he's done, of course, the Why Did I Get Married? Not Why I Get Married. The other one.
Get their chestnuts roasting, ain't it?
Oh, okay.
I'll watch it just to show.
He did.
my support.
He's right now doing the ABC show Million Little Things,
Mhm, I
40
seen
Year
him
Old
on there.
Virgin,
Blades of Glory.
Night School, Blades of Glory, all different kind of stuff. So he's a really good. He has a really good career. So it's like when you see him, it's like, oh, I know him. So.
Yeah.
He's funny, man. He was always one of the ones I was like, why is he not in more things? Because he's really, really funny.
Yeah, I think he's often overlooked. I'm not a huge Christmas movie fan, but I'll watch
Look
that.
at you, Grinch.
I think he's real
I'm
selective
not a
on
Grinch.
doing.
I just
bug.
don't watch Christmas. I just don't watch Christmas
I think he's
movies.
selective
Screw
on how
your
what he
Santa
does, so he doesn't
Claus.
get
I love
typecast and
Christmas.
stuff like
I'll
that.
dress up as Santa Claus. And
It's
all
all
that
about
shit.
the Santa Claus
I
movie.
just
can't
hate
wait
the
to
smell
tell
of
kids
Christmas, and then I hate
the smell of Christmas.
that weird apple
Oh, the
cinnamon. I
pine-
hate that shit. No,
pine.
pine's fine, but it's that thick apple spice thing. I hate that shit.
Get the shit out of my
And then
nose.
and I hate Christmas movies, but my house is gonna be decorated.
Jingle all the way, man. Jingle all the way.
Oh, that's a good one.
But yeah, that's
I'll be home for Christmas. That was a good one.
Well, thank you for joining us. We had a good long show. Honestly.
Oh,
we had
we're
some
done?
good content.
Shit,
Yeah,
we're
we had
over.
some great
Damn.
content.
Okay.
out there.
I'm late for my meeting.
Well, I'm so
Oh.
sorry. We're busy, man. But yeah,
Whoops.
check out the podcast.
Better text
subscribe. Look at all our old shows. Listen to our old shows. Do you have anything else to say?
We're
to
on
the people out there?
IG, Facebook. That's
Yep.
it.
All social media platforms.
Streaming everywhere.
Still alive.
That's a beautiful thing.
And
Yep.
are we
Here's
gonna do
the
any more
credit.
shows this month? Or we're done for November. Come back in October.
Oh, we're
No.
probably gonna come back in December because we have what Thanksgiving next. No, what is that? Thanksgiving next week.
Well, the week we come back be Thanksgiving weekend, so we're not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
We too turned up from
Yeah,
Black
that's
Friday.
we'll be back consistent probably in 2020.
10, 20, 20.
Yeah.
We got a lot of things settling.
But yeah, y'all have a great day and enjoy.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.